say that it's a pleasure and honor to be here in such great company. I haven't been to many book readings, certainly not to any of such intellectual caliber. So please forgive me if I don't abide by book reading protocol, or especially actually if I fail to do justice to your wonderful, wonderful book, which I did read a few days ago. I believe that I've been graciously invited here, perhaps as representative of today's highly confused youth. We all have big dreams, we have no clue sometimes as to how to achieve them. I'm living my dream, I believe. I'm a working actor, I have a job and that's great. My life has of course been a little different. Some of you possibly know my parents, I think all of you know my brother. And my family is certainly made up of true shining pearls, absolutely no pressure for me at all. When I was young, what did I want to be? I had no idea. I knew that I couldn't be an actor. There was too much pressure, too many expectations, too many people who would say, oh God, what a surprise. She probably couldn't do anything else. And so I just thought, I don't want to be a part of that. It's much easier for me to go off, study for as long as I possibly can, keep myself protected in universities. I have the most well-rounded CV. I think I need to build a bridge somewhere and I've covered all bases. But ultimately, I think it's very difficult to deny yourself your dream. If even a small part of you wants to be an actor, like I did, I had to give in. And I was scared that I would disappoint my parents. I was scared that I felt that maybe I'm wasting my education, which they'd spent so much money on. But I am living my dream, and yes, it's full of disappointments and broken dreams along the way. But I'm learning, and I'm improving myself, and I'm enjoying myself, more importantly. I only bring all of this up because I read True Dummy, or more accurately, as really good books do, it read me. And it was like looking in a mirror. A young boy's quest to discover himself, to discover his reason for existence, perhaps to be a famous actor, perhaps not. And it's such a wonderful book, and so many deep and mystical sayings, and said so wonderfully and in such a simple way. It was like having a conversation with my grandmother, and she's the most wise and most entertaining person I've ever known. So it was such an easy read. I read it in 3 hours, and I was enthralled, and I strongly recommend it to everybody. And it just teaches you, firstly it makes you think, and then it makes you act, and it really makes the impossible possible. What is false becomes true, and it is a make-believe world, and you should make of it what you believe. And so anyway, without further ado, I'll just read, I believe, a passage somewhere in the middle of it. Page 120. In my early days, I performed with a lot of enthusiasm, but with no appreciation for my work from anyone. I was losing confidence. I was now unsure whether I was worthy enough to be an actor. In a few months, the Guru was to announce names of people who, according to him, were wasting time in pursuing the dream of challenging the rings. I feared the worst. I could not think any further as I saw Ira walking towards me. I did not know how, but she always found me whenever I needed her, always ready with an answer. You haven't heard my famous fable, a horse and a donkey, she exclaimed teasingly. She had successfully pestered me to speak about my concern. She always managed. I think nothing interested her more than an opportunity to tell a story or a poem. Once upon a time, she sat down next to me and started. She always started like this, without caring that such opening sentences did not sell anymore. There was a horse and there was a donkey, running together in a race of horses and donkeys. A point came in the race when they found themselves running side by side. For a few days, they both ran quietly, ignoring each other's presence. But one day, the horse heard something which he hadn't heard in his entire life. Unbelievable as it sounded, he tried to listen carefully to what the donkey was repeating. It is not me, it is you who is a donkey. At first, the horse kept running, unruffled by the statement. But as the donkey kept repeating it again and again in its loud brain, doubts started arising in the horse's mind. Is that right? It might be, if it's being said in such a loud voice. The moment the horse started thinking, he started slowing down. And as he slowed down, he found himself surrounded by more and more donkeys, all braying in their loud voice. It is not us, it is you who is a donkey. The more the horse heard this, the more he thought, is that right? It might be if it's been said by so many. Every day as the horse spoke up the run, it heard the same words. And as he listened, he went slower and slower, thinking, is that right? It might be if it's being repeated every day. And one day, the horse stopped and finally thought, it is actually right. Otherwise it would not have been said so loudly, repeatedly, and by so many. And since then, the horse believed it and behaved like a donkey and made sure to tell every passerby, it is not you who is a donkey, it is me. Thank you.